What is up guys, this is Shady Tech. Now I've been using the Redmi Note 9S, also known as Note 9 Pro in some markets for about 2 weeks, and I have some fair share of thoughts for both the pros and cons throughout my testing. The model that I got is 6GB of RAM variant and it might be different than the 4GB variants in terms of the speed and performance. Alright, without further ado, let's get straight into it. So I'm gonna start with the stuff that I like and fancy the most about this phone. And there is the large 6.67-inch size screen with 20:9 ratio. I would prefer the width to be a little bit longer at 19 or 19.5:9 ratio, but I guess in the year 2020 this is the new ratio of the normal we're going with. The LCD screen is good for its value, although it's not bright enough under direct sunlight. Viewing angle is decent enough. Overall, the screen panel is okay, to say the least. Now, I've done some performance testing with this phone and I'm pretty surprised as to how good it is, especially with the gaming. Hence the initial G in the Snapdragon 720 version. The G stands for gaming obviously. But I'll get back to that later on, as I would like to talk more about the MIUI interface. As this custom launcher is very subjective to everyone's taste, I personally find some of the features to be really helpful. One of my favorite is the swipe down anywhere on the screen to pull down the notification bar. This feature is most useful than ever as the ever-growing tall screen size of the phones we're getting at. The dark theme is also a nice addition too, and it helps to restrain eyes from bright color themes as opposed to the more subtle and black themes. Other than that, I enjoy the fluidity and responsiveness of the UI during my time of testing. I've done several benchmark tests and results came out pretty decent. Did some gaming too with several big names in the Play stores and few emulators. You can check out the gaming test in separate video that I made. Link is in the description down below. Other physical form factor of the Note 9S that I like is the fingerprint scanner placement. It's really responsive and works every time. And I don't even need to press the power button as the screen will automatically turn on when it detects your fingerprint. I'm glad Redmi continued the dying trend of keeping the 3.5mm headphone jack alive. Consider this a rare breed nowadays. The phone has excellent battery life at 5000 mAh battery. During my 2 weeks of testing, I only have to charge it after the end of second day. I get about 12 hours of screen on time with usual surfing the web, social medias and texting. I don't have to ever worry about running out of juice or the need to carry a power bank anymore, as this phone can last the whole day with more to spare. Now comes to the inevitable non-fun part of the video. And yes, like any honest reviewer, I have to point out some of my disappointment. One of which is the screen itself. Despite having a large screen, this LCD panel is having some issues and I have to read on some forums that is quite severe on their unit. I'm talking about the screen bleeding. Yes, the bleeding is visible on my unit too, but not as quite audible as I've seen in other units. It's the extra bright light surrounding the edge of the screen. It's more noticeable if there's strange color theme going on. And other problem with the panel is the shadows around the edge. It's pretty noticeable around the front camera and when the screen is white. Redmi Note 9S LCD panel is simply quite mediocre at best. The other thing that I dislike and have much room for improvement is the microphone quality. Whether be it in recording video or calls, the sound produced seems to be quite flat and quite buzzy, picking up a lot of background noise. This is a test of microphone on Redmi Note 9S and I would say it is quite normal, quite mediocre at the best. I think this problem can be fixed with software update, but for now, it's a con for me. The video recording of this phone is like a hit or miss. Other part it does really well with its EIS but only works up to 1080p at 30 fps. There's no image stabilization on 1080p at 60 fps and 4K. Speaking of 4K videos, it's barely usable as the video is quite choppy and stuttered all over the place. There seems to have autofocusing issue when I try to record with 1080p at 60 fps. As you can see in this video, the autofocus refused to compute and I have to use my hand to refocus. Once again, this issue can be fixed with software update only if Xiaomi is aware enough of this problem. So that pretty much covers some of my likes and dislikes about Redmi Note 9S. I'll recap these points once again for you to have better pictures and be the judge of yourself. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment down below and subscribe to my small little channel. I do really appreciate it. Until next time, this is Shady Tech. See you soon.